Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a game that honestly surprised me in the best possible way. Donkey Kong Bonanza for the Nintendo Switch 2. Now I want to start by being upfront. I didn't go into this game with massive expectations. Switch 2's launch has been, let's just say, rocky. The conversation around the console has been filled with controversy, pricing that feels a bit steep, especially compared to the original Switch, and all the debates around digital ownership and whether you really own your games anymore. Then there's the game lineup itself. When Nintendo unveiled Mario Kart World as the big day one launch title, it was fine. It was a solid evolution of the Mario Kart formula with new mechanics, and I had a good time with it, but it wasn't the explosive, massive game that defined the Switch 2 as a must-buy. It didn't have the once-in-a-generation energy that Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey brought when the original Switch launched. So for the past month or so, I thought that the Switch 2 was in a weird limbo. Technically more powerful, sure, but where was the game that made the console necessary? Where was the moment that made fans go, oh yeah, Nintendo still got it? Well, that moment is here. Donkey Kong Bananza is the game that changes literally everything. I just finished it, and let me tell you, this isn't just another fun platformer. It's a bold, confident statement from Nintendo. This is a 3D Donkey Kong adventure that feels like the true successor to Super Mario Odyssey. And in some ways, I'd even say it surpasses Odyssey, which is insane to say because some people consider Mario Odyssey to be one of the best games of all time. But hear me out. It takes that same sense of playful exploration and freedom and then cranks it up a ton, with new mechanics, new worlds, and a surprising amount of heart. This game is vibrant, it's endlessly fun, and more than anything, it makes the Switch 2 finally feel like it has a purpose beyond just being new hardware. So in this video, I want to break down exactly why Donkey Kong Bonanza hit me so hard. I'm going to go into the design, the worlds, the gameplay innovations, the music, and even the story moments that caught me off guard, and I'm going to compare it directly to Mario Kart World and Odyssey because I think this game represents a major step forward in how Nintendo approaches their iconic franchises. By the end of this video, you'll see why I think Bonanza might not just be the Switch 2's best game so far, it might actually be one of the best 3D platformers ever made, so let's go ahead and dive into it. Before we really dig into the gameplay and the details of Bonanza, I think it's important to talk about why this game matters so much in the first place. So let's rewind a bit to earlier this year in late 2024. When Nintendo revealed the Switch 2, the hype was definitely there at first. Everyone was excited for better visuals, smoother performance, and the promise of bigger, more ambitious games. But reality set in quickly. The console launched with a higher price tag than most people expected. Digital ownership policies left fans wondering if their games were really theirs or just licenses that could vanish over time, and the overall launch lineup didn't exactly scream must-have. Sure, Mario Kart World was a fun addition. It had some clever twists like wall running, dynamic weather effects mid-race, and the new Knockout Tour mode that added some excitement to the online play, but for a lot of people, it felt like a very safe Mario Kart. It wasn't the bold system seller that Nintendo needed. Compare that to the original Switch, which launched alongside The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That game wasn't just good, it was a phenomenon. It redefined what Zelda could be. It got universal critical acclaim, and it basically sold the entire console by itself. Even Mario Odyssey, which came a little later, was the same story. It was joyous, innovative, and completely revitalized the 3D Mario formula. So after the Switch 2 came out, fans were asking the same question. Where's that moment? Where's the game that really shows why this console matters? And this is where we enter Donkey Kong Bonanza. This is the first fully 3D Donkey Kong adventure we've gotten in decades. The last time we saw something close was back in the days of the Donkey Kong 64 game, which was fun for its time, but it's also clunky and a bit of a collectathon overload. Ever since then, DK's been mostly relegated to side-scrolling adventures. They are amazing games, but they are still, rooted in 2D. So when Nintendo EPD, the same team behind Mario Odyssey, decided to give Donkey Kong the Odyssey-style treatment, yeah, expectations were high. And somehow Bonanza didn't just meet those expectations, it blew right past them. Now, say what you will about IGN, I know their game reviews can be extremely spotty, but I think that they said it best in their review for Donkey Kong Bonanza. They described it as pure joy distilled into a 3D platformer. They said it captures the spirit of exploration in ways that even Odyssey couldn't fully achieve, and that is a massive statement. The review highlighted its seamless open-world island hubs, the way each biome feels alive with secrets, and the new mechanics that constantly change how you approach the world. And from my own experience, that's exactly how it feels. That's why I'm quoting him here. It's not just about getting from point A to point B, it's about discovering something new around every corner, whether it's a hidden collectible, an environmental puzzle, or a completely unexpected transformation that changes how you interact with the level. This game matters because it proves that the Switch 2 can deliver on its promise. It's the first time since the console has launched that I felt like, yes, this is the Nintendo magic we have been waiting for. At its core, Bonanza, it takes the DNA of Super Mario Odyssey. Obviously, it's the same people, but, they take that sense of playful exploration, the freedom of movement, and a world packed with secrets, and they build on it in ways that feel completely fresh. Instead of just single isolated kingdoms like Odyssey had, Bonanza is structured around massive interconnected island hubs. Each region feels like its own mini open world. You're not just running through a level, you're climbing, swinging, smashing through obstacles, and uncovering layers of secrets. It's the kind of world design that makes you stop and think, wait, can I climb that? Can I break through that wall? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is yes. One of the coolest new mechanics is the destructible environment. Donkey Kong has always been about power, and Bonanza very much leans into that. There are parts of this world where you can literally punch through walls, smash floors to reveal underground tunnels, or uproot massive trees to create shortcuts. It makes you feel like Donkey Kong in a way no previous game has ever done. As you're playing through the game, you're gonna unlock new transformations that let you play as like different animals and they give you different abilities. It's insane. I mean, in Mario Odyssey, you had Cappy, you could throw the cap and he would take control of enemies, but this just brings that idea to life in a whole new, fresh way, man. The Animal Kingdom transformations in this game they're amazing. Like, they're super, super cool. And what's genius is how the game layers these mechanics. You can literally combo these abilities however you would like to move across the map. It's so much fun, man. It's overall just very fluid and intuitive, and it also rewards experimentation. I just love how exploration in Bonanza feels more alive than in Odyssey, and once again, I know that's crazy to say, but I think it's because of two things: dynamic events and smarter collectibles. Dynamic events are little surprises that pop up as you play. Maybe a hidden temple door suddenly opens after you smash a certain set of statues, maybe a wild stampede of jungle creatures bursts through a path revealing a secret cave behind them. It feels like the world is responding to you in subtle ways, which keeps it from feeling static. And then, obviously, there's collectibles in this game. We all know that Donkey Kong games have a reputation for collectathon madness, and that's especially true in Donkey Kong 64. But here, it's balanced perfectly, in my opinion. You're collecting bananas, and the bananas actually fuel your skill tree, so, there's kind of rewards for going out of your way and finding these collectibles. You power up and you get even stronger. It's awesome. The bottom line is that exploring never feels like a chore, and that is a very, very good thing, because some games, that kind of hinders the experience. Exploration can kind of get in the way of things, but in Bonanza, it just adds on to the experience, and I want to explore every inch of this game. I'm working on a 100% guide right now, but this game is just incredible with exploration. Moving on here, let's go ahead and talk about the performance, because I have seen a lot of people talking about it. The performance on Nintendo Switch 2 is insane. Like, it's actually very, very good. I get it, it's not like 120 frames. I'm pretty sure it runs at 60, but this game is so vibrant. It has an amazing art style, and I did experience frame drops in my playthrough, which is a little concerning, and some of you might be disappointed to hear that, but it was nothing that really hindered my experience, and it was only when there was something like really big happening on screen, and it was only for like a split second. Like, whatever, man. I heard that the game director came out and said that he wasn't really focusing on frames. He wanted to polish the gameplay and the art style and all of that, and I think that is very cool. I think a lot of game developers need to put less effort and time into frame rates and all of that stuff, and they just need to focus on making a good game, and the developers of Bonanza really, really did do that. I think that it runs very, very well. It's a great looking game. It is a very visually good looking game, just straight up. While we're on the topic of the overall presentation, dude, the soundtrack of this game is amazing. Like, it just rips, dude. It's so, so good. You have tracks that are throwbacks to like Donkey Kong Country, You have brand new tracks, obviously, but it's just all tied together so well. And it just adds to the experience. Like, this honestly might be the one of the best soundtracks of this year. I don't want to say the best because I think Expedition 33 also had a very good soundtrack, but this is up there. This is a very, very good soundtrack. If you're someone that's into, OSTs, dude, this game is killer. Listen, long story short, I think that this is a Game of the Year contender. No doubt about it. Expedition 33 is up there. I think Expedition 33 might win, but as of now, Donkey Kong Bonanza is second for me. This is a 10 out of 10 game. It's up there with releases for this year. And this is the game that the Nintendo Switch 2 desperately needed. When the Switch 2 launched, it felt like something was missing, like we talked about before. Mario Kart World was a fun appetizer, but it wasn't the kind of bold, unforgettable experience that defines a console. There was skepticism, people questioned the price, they questioned digital ownership, and most importantly, they questioned if Nintendo could still deliver that sense of wonder they're known for. And Bonanza answered those questions with a resounding yes for me. This game is pure Nintendo magic, it's bold, it's creative, and it's filled with that sense of discovery that makes you want to keep playing long after the credits roll. It takes the DNA of Super Mario Odyssey, one of the greatest 3D platformers ever made, and builds on it with new mechanics, crazy interactive worlds, a fresh identity that feels uniquely Donkey Kong. So if you've been on the fence about the Switch 2, if you've been waiting for a true system seller, this is it. Bonanza is the moment for the Switch 2 that finally feels worth it. And if Nintendo can keep delivering games at this level, this generation might end up being something really special. Yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza is easily a 10 out of 10 for me. It's a must play, and a reminder that even in 2025, Nintendo can still surprise us. But what about you guys? Have you played Bonanza yet? Do you still think it lives up to the hype? And more importantly, do you think it sets a new standard for the Switch 2's future? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments if you enjoyed this deep dive. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more Nintendo content and other video game content. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.